want speaks. Yeah. I want speaks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just everything back.
Yeah. And 2013, I have a brain hemorrhage. I lost my ability to speak. I am a doctor. I was about to become a hematologist. This is Connor, 1 day old.
Hello.
Put your eyes open. 1, 2, 3.
Go for a walk down the domain. Hi, Mum.
Hello. And you're Celine. You want to say hello to Nana? Say hello, Nana. There we go. Oh, this is a nice page. We like this one. This is what he ate on Saturday, isn't it? Walk over. Come on. Yes, Mum. Come on. Move your legs as well. That's it. Legs as well. Another leg. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Hello.
Someone needs longer arms.
There we go. And talk down. Hey, can you see Mummy and Connor and Daddy? It happened just after Connor's fourth birthday.
What do you remember of when the hemorrhage happened?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yes. Speak. Yes. Oh.
Joe was at work and I got a call from one of Joe's colleagues that something had happened with her brain and to rush out to Middlemore. Got there and pretty much immediately I was told that it was a cerebral hemorrhage. At that stage they said there's about a 50% chance that she'll even make it to surgery, so sort of prepare yourself for the worst. For the first 3 or 4 days, Jo barely had any consciousness. She was coming to very briefly in critical care. Between day 4 and day 6, she started to get more and more conscious and more understanding of everything. And it was pretty clear that she wasn't going to be able to speak and that her right side was completely paralysed. I'd sort of managed to come to grips with those things and sort of, in my head, had traded them off for her life and felt like those were things we could deal with, given the fact that she was alive. Say hi for the camera, Jojo. She knows exactly in a certain part of her brain what she wants to say, However, to be able to sort of turn that into words, there are a couple of major blocks. The first one is apraxia or dyspraxia, which is basically the mind being able to control her mouth to make the sound she wants to make. So when you see her stumbling over a word and trying to find that consonant sound, being able to do that at the right times just sort of evades her. The other thing that happens is she's suffering from aphasia, which is a sort of jumbling up of the signals as they come through what was the speech centre. It might be sort of like someone with dyslexia where the letters get twisted up and she then sort of can't put them into the right order. So frustration is the main thing with that perfect thinking going on and absolute comprehension of what she wants to say, but not able to do any output.
What's it like? Is it like you've got the word on the tip of your tongue but you can't get it out?
No.
Is it like you know the feeling but you can't find the word?
Yeah.
You have to be so patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I want space. Oh. Yeah.
you want space.
No.
Speak.
Yeah.
So, do you still remember and know all you learned about hematology?
Yes. Yes.
You know it all.
Yes. Yes.
Can you tell me about the years you've spent studying?
6 was, yes, got a doctor, yes.
6 years to become a doctor.
Yes. 2 years,
House surgeon?
yes. 5,
6, 5, and 2.
yes.
13 years.
Yes.
Wow. And 1 exam short of
Yeah.
becoming qualified.
Yes.
3 exams.
No, yes.
2 exams of becoming a qualified hematologist.
Yes.
She is such an amazing thinker and academic. The biggest worry of all is Jo's loss of identity. A lot of the identity is wrapped up in being a doctor.
I love Mama.
I've always been very proud of you because you always surprise me. When you were 9 months old, you're diagnosed with a clicky hip. You're in a plaster cast for 6 months. And then when the plaster cast came off, you're about 18, 19 months old. You walked within 3 weeks. And the one thing that you showed then was a lot of tenacity and determination. And then you just went on with school, and then when your brother got the academic prize, and you turned around to me and says, I'm as good as he is, I can do that. And from that day onward, there was absolutely no stopping you. And then even when we took you to Barradine and the principal asked you what did you want to do, and you said you wanted to do medicine, and she looked down at your school cert marks and she says, well, these marks are not good enough. And you proved her wrong. You know, you beat the odds. That's what you do. You beat the odds. You've got strength, you've got tenacity, you've got determination, and you will do it. You will overcome it.
All over your face. This day being a year on since the date is was a sort of strange day of for me going back almost minute by minute and remembering what was happening at the time and remembering having a very normal morning and then knowing that roughly the time that I had the phone call and thinking about all those moments where was I at that point in time, what was happening at that point in time.
I let Dad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You nearly died.
Yeah.
Oh, the wheels on the bus.
Yeah.
We were saying what the dream was to have conversational English by the end of the first year, and then in the second year work on your academic language.
Yeah.
Isn't quite
Yeah.
further back, you think, than you thought it would be.
Yeah.
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 Physically as well, Joe.
Yeah.
What's what's going on with that at the moment? What are the limitations?
Hands.
Hands.
Yeah.
Good. Well said.
Yeah.
You thought you'd be further along with that.
Yeah.
What's that going to stop you doing? Playing golf?
No.
You couldn't play golf before, Joe. Stuff at home that you can't do?
No.
Or
No.
work?
Yeah.
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 Like doing procedures?
Yeah. Yeah.
You need a lot of strength to do a bone marrow
Yeah.
and...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Don't you look for an excuse to get to those that give you opportunity anyway?
No.
Oh. Kiss for Daddy? No? Okay. All right. Joe and I were always really good communicators, and one of the strengths of our relationship, we always talked a huge amount. And I know her really, really well, and I usually know what she's roughly thinking about, which means I can usually tease out the point. All right. How do it, Joe?
No.
Okay, sweetie, lie down. Lie down, Connor. How do you feel when I've got to step in and do the communication
Yeah.
for you?
Yeah.
Feels like it's been the longest time?
No.
No? Longest?
Yeah.
2.
Are you saying I don't like it?
No.
No. Is that the word like?
Yeah.
Are you trying to say what it's like?
No.
Are you hope to be not needing me by 2 years? You're hoping
Yeah.
it's the goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, we always had 2 years in mind for you to be able to
Yeah.
speak relatively comfortably and conversational and stuff, eh?
Yeah. Go
Good.
to sleep. No. Connor.
Tongue up.
To sleep. Now. Connor.
Yes. Good. Good.
I understand. I didn't say everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
You tried on your own.
You.
Gets the yawns.
Yeah. I understand everything you say.
Smiling for re. Great.
Everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
What's understated sometimes is that effort that goes into communication. And for Jo, even when she needs to try and articulate any sounds or words, that requires a conscious effort to think of where she's going to position her lips, tongue to be able to produce those words. So everything's, I mean, that's from my opinion. I think it requires concentration and effort, and that's what then results in the fatigue.
Compared to studying hematology, which I imagine is pretty difficult, how hard is what you're going through now?
No.
Much harder.
Yeah.
How are you doing? outside?
Yeah.
He's outside.
Yeah.
Building sandcastles.
We have to be quite careful of not comparing Joe and Connor, because I think there's a massive difference between someone who's acquiring language for the first time and someone like Joe who has the issue of having the word there in her mind but not being able to physically make her mouth say it. He's not getting frustrated as much now. He's not ripping books out of her hand when she tries to read them to him anymore. But yeah, I think I really want him to make sure that he knows how smart, how intelligent, how that his mum is a doctor. We often talk about that as a doctor.
Yeah. Oh.
How can you relate to his learning?
Oh. Kinda want to
Learn?
yeah. Yeah.
You want to tell him things.
Yeah.
Look, you say quack quack to them? Quack quack. You hear of scenarios where someone has a traumatic life event and the people around them can't cope and walk away. I don't understand that at all. How can it be too hard to care for someone that you've decided to spend your life with? Where are you going? Joe's always been just one of the strongest people I know, and one of the most... I love her for being a powerful woman, and it's one of the reasons I fell in love with her. And this takes so much of that away. In the early days, I barely slept at all, and even now, I still have nightmares around certain elements of it. Coping is a strange thing. I think you don't know how you're going to react in a situation like this until you're in it. I still run through scenarios about Joe dying because I guess the processing of what might happen in those early days has almost sort of burnt itself into my consciousness. Connor, do you want some cornflakes?
Yes. Kinda.
Or Wheat Bix?
Torn flakes. Yes. White bits. Yes. Yeah. Would like a morning half. No. Hard.
Time to do your hair?
No.
No. Your hair? No.
It's hard since you AVM.
No. Back.
You've never liked mornings.
Yeah.
Never.
Yes.
What most mornings involve me nagging you, don't they, to hurry up. Pretty typical.
Yeah.
Wanting to make sure I get out the door fast enough to get to work.
For the first 6 months after Joe's cerebral hemorrhage, I wasn't working because I was still on a year's paternity leave looking after Connor. I guess we never imagined that I would be the one going to work and Joe would be the one at home looking after Connor a bit and doing all of her classes the rest of the time, because the plan was always for Joe to be working and for me to be the one doing the primary kind of childcare stuff. Yeah, it's a little bit different from how we pictured it. I mean, Joe's career has always been the dominant, most important career in our family, so it kind of had to shift out a little bit for a while, and hopefully that comes back. Here we go, getting in the car. Where are we going, Connor? Daycare. In the mornings, I usually take Joe and Connor up to daycare, and then I head off to work.
She really likes to spend a bit of time with Connor and at supervise, which was a big issue early on when she was starting to get epilepsy and we didn't know how controlled it was. Oh, Connor, what's that?
Look.
What's that?
Connor, look.
Is it Connor? Rubbish truck. All right. Bye. So I'm on my way to work at St Cuthbert's College. So a lot of the things that I've learned from dealing with Jo have actually helped me in some of my teaching. I think early on I was just quite fascinated by the way her mind had lost language, not just words, spoken word, but writing and sort of symbolic language as well. And also just seeing how, you know, it doesn't matter how hard someone wants to do something when they've got conditions in their brain, whether it be what Jo's got or dyslexia or something like that. You just hit walls. Only sort of hard work and understanding and workarounds can kind of help with it.
Power. Yes. Pala. Pola. Oh, no.
Power.
Yes.
Yeah. With language comes power.
Yes, yes, yes. Whole. Half.
Whole and half.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of yourself.
Yes. Half.
You're halfway.
Yeah.
Say nice and straight, and maybe you can take your arms out to the side as you go out.
People ask me all the time, what progress is she making? And I say she's constantly making progress. There's always forward progress. However, the progress that we can see has not yet been significant enough to have a positive impact on what she's able to do.
To judge how much.
Her very, very clear goal is to get back to her job. I'm quite confident she'll get back language to a really good conversational level, but that extra academic stuff that she's going to need to be a hematologist, I fear might elude her. When these trials and tests come along, you find out who you are, and you've just either got to roll over and give up, or you fight. She's certainly fighting, and I'm trying to support her as much as possible and I'm still trying to be the man behind an amazing woman that I wanted to be before, that I was when she was in her medical career as well.
I want to go back to work.
Jo's been avoiding going to the hospital. I guess it's hard sometimes to think about work at the same time. She desperately wants to get back there.
I met Jo when she was working as a haematology registrar in this hospital. She was a trainee, so a junior doctor, not yet a consultant. And she chose to spend 6 months working with my team, which is a hospital palliative care team. She is incredibly courageous to come back into an environment where your colleagues are all doing what they were doing before and what you were doing. I mean, I can only begin to imagine what it might feel like coming back in, knowing that this was where she would be. She'd be a consultant by now.
Yes. Yes.
How are you doing?
Yes. Fine.
You all right coming in?
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
big, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Show me the way. Okay. You are a different person by the time you've become a doctor and worked in medicine for a while. You see yourself differently. It's probably not until it's taken away from you that you really begin to realise it. It's big coming back here, isn't it, Jo?
Yeah. Yes.
How does it feel walking back in to this place?
Hard.
Hard.
Yes.
Which was your desk?
Yes.
This one?
Yeah.
Have you been back in this room
No.
since it happened? Is your rubbish on the wall?
No. Oh, yes.
That's yours.
Yes. Oh, yes.
That's yours.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Is this where you want to be back? You're not sure.
No.
You're not sure.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
You think it's going to be possible with everything that... Don't know.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're still hopeful?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to speak at dawn.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, you want to speak well enough?
Yeah.
Well enough to be able to come back to work?
Yeah.
That it feels okay
Yes.
being in here? The
Yeah.
thought of coming back here feels okay?
Yeah. Yes.
But you'd need to be able to speak well enough.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What is it about work that you love so much?
I love you. Love it. Yes.
You love it.
Yeah.
Why? Purpose?
No, yeah. Poo.
People?
Yes.
You love the people?
Yeah.
Your colleagues and the people you help?
Yeah. Yeah.
Too high. And slip. And slip. Getting back to work's going to be a really, really hard thing for Jo. Even if she does get back to work, it won't be the same. She's not going to get back to the really high-powered, high-energy, 14-hour-day kind of thing that she used to do and loved. We've come a little bit further along towards acceptance. She said something about 5 years the other day to me, which was a new number. At least she's now realistic that it's not going to happen in a year and a half, 2 years, but she's not giving up, so it's pretty amazing.
How do you think you've changed since the hemorrhage?
Connor is learn on, so passes to me.
Connor and Leon
Support.
so important to you?
Yes.